There's a lot of energy here at this conference, so the people are pretty upbeat. If anything, their biggest challenge is meeting the challenges the industry faces. Last year when we were here, there was a lot of conversation around cybersecurity. This year, there's a more conversation around how do we capture knowledge? How do we incorporate knowledge into the SCADA systems and the technologies that we do for clients?
My takeaway from day one is that people are becoming more and more aware of the importance of cybersecurity and, more importantly, the nuances that are coming with it. The previous years we've been talking about this, but now the level of discussion about what that is, what the impacts are at a much more advanced and mature level than they've been from previous years.
The one key message that we want to say in our presentations today is how SCADA is evolving to be less hardware dependent. It's really all about being able to maintain your system with relative ease for the clients.
SentientQ has been designed from the ground up to address all of the needs required by a 5th generation SCADA system. And unlike some of the previous generations, this required fundamental ground-up re-architecting of the system. So when we set out to build SentientQ and design it, we started with what are these needs, what's the best way to do it, what do we need to do to sort of build a ground-up new SCADA system on top of that while still maintaining all the functionality and reliability from the previous systems.
Anytime that you're connecting one device to another, there is a risk, a cyber risk, and so you need to plan for that accordingly in your architecture and your system as a whole. System reliability, there's a new paradigm around that, which is high availability. You're always needing to do it constantly. You can't wait for the next outage. You can't interrupt operations on a SCADA environment, in the OT environment. So how do you do that? So the SentientQ high availability configuration, and then the other techniques that we're using to develop our 5th generation support the ability to make those changes kind of as and when you needed, with appropriate management of change procedures that each company has.
SCADA is not just SCADA anymore. With the massive expansion of, you've got cloud access, you've got IoT devices, you've got a whole bunch of back office operations, and they're all becoming interconnected, all centered around OT operations. So when we're talking about SCADA and SentientQ, it's not just SCADA. SentientQ is more of an orchestration system to orchestrate all of the OT operations. SCADA is going to end up being just one portion of that. So there's a need for doing the connections between all these back office items, all the cloud interfaces, all the IoT devices. Everything's been going through, and in the middle of it is effectively SCADA, and this is where SentientQ is going to be able to help with the orchestration of all these aspects.